In the previous lecture, we saw that while the ziggurat of Babylon was almost totally destroyed, textual sources can shed light on its shape and history. These textual sources include mythology. The Babylonian creation story Enuma Elish tells us that the city of Babylon, its temple and ziggurat were built by the gods at the beginning of history. The relevant verses are quoted here in the translation of Wilfred George Lambert. After Marduk's victory over Tiamat, the gods wished to build him a temple as a mark of gratitude.
The Anunnaki opened their mouths and addressed their lord Marduk. "Now, Lord, seeing you have established our freedom, what favor can we do for you? Let us make a shrine of great renown."
Marduk rejoiced at this gesture and commanded the gods to build Babylon.
When Marduk heard this, he beamed as brightly as the light of day. "Build Babylon, the task you have sought. Let bricks for it be molded, and raise the shrine."
The building project took 2 years. The first year was devoted to the making of bricks of sufficient quantity and quality for such a magnificent edifice. During the second year, the gods used these bricks to create 2 structures, the temple and the ziggurat.
The Anunnaki wielded the pick. For 1 year, they made the needed bricks. When the second year arrived, they raised the peak of Esagil, a replica of the Apsu. They built the lofty temple tower of the Apsu, and for Anu, Enlil, Ea, and Him, they established it as a dwelling.
The temple built by the gods is called Esagila, Sumerian for house whose top is lofty. The ziggurat next to it is here called the Apsu Tower. This name hints that the ziggurat of Babylon represented the Apsu, the fresh water beneath the earth. The belief that the temple and ziggurat of Babylon were created at the beginning of history lent them a mythological status. Lambert has shown that the Babylonian temple is presented in Enuma Elish as the center of the universe, lying between heaven and earth. A similar cosmic view of this temple also appears in other Mesopotamian texts. The Babylonians perceived the city of Babylon with its temple and ziggurat as the center of the cosmos. The temple and ziggurat served as a replica of the heavens above and the watery depth below. This is also reflected in the Sumerian name of the ziggurat, which means, as we already noted, house, foundation platform of the heaven and the underworld. This background now allows us to interpret verse 4 of the Tower of Babel story.
And they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens."
The tower is most probably the ziggurat of the city of Babylon. Its top is described as reaching the heavens. This is in line with the Mesopotamian notion that the ziggurat is the point of contact between heaven and earth, or a reflection of the heavens. The nuances of the biblical text may hint not only at the ziggurat itself, but also at the temple Esagila. We have seen that the name Esagila means house whose top is lofty. Thus, in Enuma Elish, the gods raised the peak of Esagil. Such descriptions reflect the view that the top of the entire temple compound reached the heavens. The biblical phrase, "with its top in the heavens," may therefore reflect familiarity with Mesopotamian mythology and ideology.